For generations now, game systems for consumers hit the market. The demand has always been high, depending on a console's marketing, and there's many reasons for the hype. It's time to dust off your console or try to find one at a decent price. Here's my 20 greatest video game systems. Keep in mind this list is based on personal experience, popularity, and what it brought to the industry. Number 20, Atari 2600. While plenty of consoles were attempting to apply to a diverse demographic, the Atari 2600 was a huge hit, supporting cartridges along with a simplistic library and control scheme. Some of the earliest arcade games were released for this system. This console is worth dusting off every once in a while, even after the crash in 1983. Number 19, Nintendo 3DS. Following the same concept as the original DS with the dual screen setup, stylus, and touchscreen support, released as several different variations through the years. The 3D graphics, all the improvements, make this a system worth returning to any day of the week. 3D remasters and Nintendo's biggest IPs overshadow the huge library. Number 18, Wii U. Despite the console's failure, the system has a respectable first-party library. After all, HD graphics and a hybrid console were the biggest innovation considering the mobile gaming market was becoming more popular. Nintendo was hoping to take that opportunity. Low sales aside, the Virtual Console library entering the party early, this is a solid console. Number 17, PSP. Sony released a handheld system, soon becoming one of the best-selling systems of all time for its technical superiority and library of games. Incorporating CD-based technology, the system was the most powerful portable console when it was introduced, and was the first real competitor of Nintendo's handheld consoles after many challengers. Number 16, the original Game Boy. Back when this system released, it became a top seller. It fits in your pocket along with a handful of cartridges to take to the park or on the bus. Running through packs of AA batteries, the library is fantastic. Some of the greatest games, while oversimplistic, there's certain brilliance behind its new take on gaming and the amount of physical cartridges that were sold. Number 15, original Xbox. Here it is, Microsoft's first console, having technological superiority against its two main competitors. During the pre-HD era, the games looked fantastic and had a handful of memorable exclusives of multiple different genres. And the best part is, subsequent Xbox consoles could support these games to keep them in style longer. Number 14, PS3. Despite being overpriced and its slow processing, this console was Sony's transition into the HD era and began to face a dominant HD graphics along with a whole bunch of first and third-party titles alike. Even to this day, most consoles' library holds up today, and while the console has mixed reception, at best, the appeal is staggering. Number 13, Game Boy Color. An upgraded version of the Game Boy, this system has a great library similar to the original system and displays its content in color. While that's not impressive today, the console is worth picking up for having the most classics that span many different genres. Despite the short lifespan, the short-lived appeal will remain. Number 12, Dreamcast. Having graphics that push the limits and had a surprisingly diverse library, once again being a critical and commercial failure, but you can't deny the short-lived appeal of the system. Porting many of the games to the other console took away the console's longevity. With the arcade ports and the late transition to 3D, the console was just brilliant. Number 11, GBA. This was a remarkable handheld system and the greatest Game Boy out of the three mainline devices, being backwards compatible with Game Boy games, known for its handheld ports and excessive library of RPGs, selling 80 million units worldwide, and the rise of the SP. You got a backlit screen. Early handheld consoles show their age because of that one missing feature. Number 10, Nintendo Switch. This is Nintendo's current console, and with a massive library of ports, remasters, and third-party titles, this console soon became a huge hit and one of the fastest-selling consoles in US history. Only time will tell if this console will hold up as well as higher entries on this list. But for now, the console still has a chance to impress us with upcoming titles. Number 9, Sega Genesis. One of Sega's best offerings into the console market during this era, when gaming was starting to get popular, this console's strategy was mainly to target Nintendo. This console is a major hit for being a tough opponent in the fourth generation, selling 30 million units worldwide, known best for Sonic and a handful of fighting games and beat-em-ups. Number 8, PS4. This console defines the 8th generation with graphics and gameplay that keep the system's appeal lasting longer. Having the best current-gen remasters, remakes, and exclusive library, this console sold 115 million units worldwide, hammering its competitors. From 2013 to 2020, this console stood at the top for its epic and diverse selection of games. Number 7, PS1. The first commercially successful CD-based console selling 100 million units. The CD-based technology was the biggest reason for its success. The library consists of over 1,000 games, from sports games, racing games, and RPGs. Despite the console losing its appeal too quickly, it's one of the most important in gaming history. Number 6, Xbox 360. During this generation, each console from each firmware were successful in their own way, but the Xbox 360 benefits the most from a diverse library of games, Microsoft's greatest console ever. While players prefer the PC, the 360 has some of the most breathtaking selection and a diverse demographic. There's a reason for its iconic status. Number 5, NES. An arcade for your home, the best library of games through the decades were riding the gaming industry. This console sold 50 million units back during a time when the industry was recovering from the crash. However, hundreds of memorable games hit the market. Consumers got the most out of this, and the gaming market was growing strong. Number 4, PS2. Throughout the turn of the century, this console became the best-selling of all time with 155 million units sold. For its multimedia capabilities, while only applying to the older demographic, everyone can still get the most out of its hundreds of games. Sony somehow was able to attract consumers around the world for the sense of innovation and that anyone can enjoy gaming. Number 3, Nintendo DS. This system may have a tough history, but maintained its lasting appeal much better than any other handhelds. With over 2,000 games and a dual-screen display, this system sold 150 million units by 2012. Millions of kids and adults have memories of gathering with friends, going to the playground, and crowding up, which was important for the overall outlook on handheld gaming, just for nostalgia. Number 2, Nintendo 64, the first to introduce 3D graphics along with open-ended environments, starting a new take on the industry that soon became the standard. The console only has 296 games, however the fantastic first-party library, rare titles, and the expansion pack, there are 50 great games. And this was all fun in the late 90s and to this day. Hardware was able to maintain the console's appeal through the years. Number 1, Super Nintendo. The 16-bit graphics are to ensure the experience is maxed out and the appeal is there forever. With fantastic titles with Nintendo, Capcom, and Square, this console should be the last to collect dust, not only introducing success with multiple genres and publishers, applying to a diverse consumers in the market, and you have the greatest console in history. I just want to make it clear that this list is very subjective and it's still argued to this day, which is really the best console of all time.